Welcome back to Inside. Hi, I'm Hammer, and we would like to welcome back to the show Heather Foster from Foster Financial. We're excited to have you here today.
Always enjoyable to come.
And we're going to talk about my Aunt Irma, right?
Yes, Irma. Do you know what Irma is?
Well, I knew it had something to do about income, and then you started to tell me about Medicare.
Yeah, income-related monthly adjustment. Okay, so Irma. If you've not heard the word Irma before and you're heading towards your retirement years, you better get familiar with her. I say she's kind of this mean little thing in the background that's just been waiting for you to pay some extra premiums on your Medicare. So if you've not heard of this, we do tax strategizing around Irma. So we actually run reports. So again, IRMAA is basically, they don't like me to use the word penalty, an additional premium on your Medicare if you make too much money. Well, most people go, well, I'm going to be in retirement, I'm not going to make as much money. But again, if you have saved all of your money in pre-tax accounts, 401k, you just kind of put it in. At some point, the government says, hey, again, it's our payday. Required minimum distributions begin at the age of 72. And you're on Medicare, and you have other income like Social Security, maybe a pension, you might be very surprised at the income level that your taxation is going to be in your 70s. And if it's too high, welcome to IRMAA. So IRMAA, just so you know, for every tier, there's multiple tiers of IRMAA, 5 in fact. For every tier you go into IRMAA, it's basically an extra 40% premium on your Medicare. You could be spending more than 300% more than your neighbor just because of the way that you saved your investment money.
Oh, so we need to find ways to lower those penalties or fees.
And the way that we do that is we get ahead of this curve, right? So once you reach 72, it's hard to kind of backtrack out of IRMAA. You still can, but if we can get to somebody in their 50s or 60s and kind of start to readjust the way their investments are laid out, the type of money. You've heard me preach Roth conversions. This is an area where Roth conversions will help. If you do enough Roth conversions in a controlled tax bracket and you do it systematically year over year, we can end up, when you fast forward, make your required minimum amounts lower, therefore keeping you out of IRMAA. I just ran a report for someone recently over their lifetime from 65 to roughly 90 years of age. Keeping them out of IRMAA was going to save them over $100,000 in Medicare premiums alone, not to mention the tax benefits of Roth conversion. So you have to understand, good job for saving the money, that's the hard part, but making sure you have an investment advisor that understands the tax side of things as well as Medicare working for your good can end up with another $100,000 in your pocket just by keeping you out of something like IRMAA.
So has the government made this so complicated that we need to make sure we have a strategist helping us through this to make sure that we're not taking our hard-earned money and paying extra fees?
Yeah, you know, IRMAA was inducted in 2003, so it was inducted to basically say, hey, we're going to do a different Medicare provision for those that are high-income earners. And again, you could have somebody that's not considered a high-income earner, but they saved all their money in pre-tax, and they're going to get forced into becoming an income earner that's really high and getting hit with these extra premiums. So these are high-level wealth management concepts, okay? The general public does, if you've never heard of IRMAA, there's a reason why, is because most, again, financial advisors just focus maybe on the investments. But when you mix somebody that looks at all of it, it's really strategic, high-level financial planning. Most people, again, think that that's only for the people with a lot of wealth. This typically affects somebody, if you get into your 50s and 60s with $1 million in your 401k between you and your spouse, this is who this affects. It's not the 10 million, 20 million, 50, they get affected by it as well.
They start coming for everybody.
Right, but it's the normal person that maybe made, you know, $60,000 to $80,000 a year. They saved a lot. They push money into their 401ks. They retire with around $1 million. They mainly only plan on spending $60,000 a year, but because of the required amounts, it's going to push them over. So getting ahead of this curve and doing these kind of strategic plans are really important. Timing of Roth conversions, the markets are down, take advantage of that.
Fantastic. Heather, thank you, sir, very much for that information. We're going to use it. If you have any financial questions, call the number on your screen for a complimentary consultation today.